Okay, the problem says that according to a student survey, 16 students liked history. That means in this whole history circle, total we're going to have 16. So I'm going to write 16 over here so that I can remember that. It says 19 students liked English, so that means in this whole English circle there's going to be 19 total. So I'm going to write 19 right here just to remind me. It says 18 students liked math, that means in this whole circle that there's going to be 18 students total, so I'm going to write 18 over here. That's just how I do it. I just write those numbers kind of on the outside to help remind me. You don't have to do it like that, but that's just how I do it to help me out. It says that 8 students liked math and English. That means math and English, their overlap, which is this section right here, that they're going to be a total of 8 students. I'm not really sure whether those students just like math and English or whether they liked math, English, and history. So they're going to be somewhere in these two, but I'm not sure if it's just math and English or if they liked all 3. So what I do is I write the number in between on that line. That tells me that total here and here have to add up to 8. The next thing says that 5 students liked history and English. So that means between history and English, their overlap, which is right here, 5 total students liked history and English. Again, I'm not sure if they just like history and English, like in this section, or if they liked all 3, like in this section. So I write the 5 right here in the overlap on that line, just to tell me that between this section and this section altogether, there are going to be 5 students. The next thing says 7 students liked history and math. History and math's overlap would be right here. Again, I'm not sure whether it's this section, or some of both. So what I do is I write the 7 right here on the line, just kind of to help me out. And then it says 3 students liked all 3 subjects. Okay, well, if 3 students liked all 3 subjects, I know there has to be a 3 in that section, because this is the overlap of all 3 subjects. Now, this is kind of the hint. This helps me out. This tells me if 3 students liked all 3, that if there were 8 students between this section and this section, that if there are definitely 3 here, that means there has to be 5, because 8 minus 3 is 5. So 5 students are going to be in this section. Now I can cross out my 8 because I don't need it anymore. Same thing here. There were 5 students total between these two sections. Now the 3 tells me that there's definitely 3 here, so there must be 2 in this section, and I can cross out the 5. Same thing here. There's a 7 to tell me between these 2, but now if this 3 is definite, I can cross this out, and I know there are 4 students in this section. Now everything is filled out except for my just history section, my just English, and my just math section. So this is how I figured those out. I'm going to look at English here. English is this circle. Okay, English, I have 19 total students, it told me at the very beginning. So far I have 5 students, 3 students, and 2 students, all somewhere in my English circle. So 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 2 more is 10. If 19 total students like English, and I have 10 already accounted for, that means there are 9 that just like English. If I have 16 total students that like history, I have 4 and 3, which is 7, 2 more, which is 9. That means I have 7 missing students that I'm going to say just like history. Because 4 plus 3 is 7, 7 plus 2 is 9. And if I had 16 total, 9 plus the 7 extra will give me 16 total. My last section I need to figure out, it says math had 18 total students. I had 5, 3, and 4. These are all within my math circle. So 5 plus 4 is 9, plus 3 more is 12, and I have to get up to 18. 12 plus what gives me 18? I know that's a 6, so I have 6 students here. Now, I'm trying to see what, did they ask me another question? I'm trying to scroll to the question now. And I'm not finding it. Sorry, guys. At this point, I should be able to answer almost any question that it asks me. If it asks me if there are any students that just like English, that would be 9 students. If it asks me how many students like math and history, I would know that's total 7. So I can answer all kinds of questions now that I have this completely figured out and filled out. I hope that helps you figure out chapter review number 7. Thanks.